The definition of leadership is very objective, and it depends on experiences and other things that you've had in your life, and how you were taught to see leadership, and how you were kind of influenced, I think, in school years and through sports and other activities, kind of what leadership is. If you're a follower and you don't really, you might see leadership as someone telling you what to do, or someone who has a title of being superior or being above you. But as a leader, if you are kind of a natural leader, you step up, or you do have that title, you might just see it as overseeing others and helping others versus telling them what to do and bossing them. I personally find that I'm a mix of the two. I do, if someone is kind of taking charge, I'll follow, but a lot of times if no one's really doing anything, I'll kind of just take charge and do everything. And because I am a mix of the two, I personally think that leadership is the ability to influence others. It's not necessarily telling what to do, but at the same time you're influencing others and helping them achieve, I guess, a similar goal. Everyone can be a leader, even if you see yourself as a follower. I still think that you can be a leader, whether you, I guess, like raise your hand and say like, hey, like, why don't we try this? You're still leading, even if you might not be the head of the group. You're still kind of helping out or having a leadership role just by stepping up and saying something or contributing. Some people do have a job or a specific role of leading, which I think is hard to have that specific role because everyone then looks up to you, and it's not just a volunteering to be a leader. Like, you can't just step in and be like, hey, like, I'll help out with this. It becomes more of a job, which I personally found really hard when I coached a travel soccer team. They all looked up to me because I was the head coach, and it was very hard to not just want to contribute things. Like, normally if I'm in a group, I'll contribute one thing, or like I'll help out or tell other people to kind of do stuff, but at the same time I can step back and not be a leader. But with that specific role, I did have to step up and be a leader and kind of be in charge of everything, which was really kind of hard at some points. And also, when I wasn't the head coach, that means I wasn't really a leader. So leader is kind of like an on and off thing, that in front of some people you might be a leader, but in front of others you might not. So it's one of those things that I think you can turn on and off, but at the same time I think you can always be developing leadership skills. So it is a lifelong skill kind of thing, but at the same time you're not always in charge or being a leader throughout your entire life. And I think people can volunteer to be leaders. Like, it doesn't, oh, sorry, my nose itches. It doesn't have to just be that specific person who is in charge. You can always volunteer to be a leader and influence other people. Even if you do step up to a role, you're still volunteering to be a leader versus assigned to be a leader. So basically, no matter what situation that you're in, you can always be a leader and show leadership skills in one way or another. But at the same time, not everyone has the same view of leadership. So I think my view of leadership is a little bit more open. And I guess flexible, which also showed a lot in my personality test, that I was someone who was a little bit more flexible. So overall, I think leadership can be something that's just, overall, anyone could be a leader, whether you're leading by example or stepping up and saying something for 2 seconds, or you have the specific role of a leader.